Round 2 of the Neucom Touring Car Championships will take place here at Road Gatineau for the round of Canada. On pole for today's feature race will be Vincenzo Focasato from Scuderia Grosseculo. The first pole position for Focasato in his rookie career, and the first for Scuderia Grosseculo. 16 laps will determine today's feature race here for the round of Canada, as the next 10 will determine our sprint race based on the top 20 inverted order. As we look through our starting lineup, it appears that some parts of the starting grid are a little bit stranger than others. Kirk Vandenberg with a pretty decent qualifying position in 11th place. Arturo Morales with a less than stellar qualifying spot, as we can see here. Mitchell Carter even less than stellar. Nathan Norman qualified 10th, as you've seen just a few seconds ago. Naomi Osakawa in 18th is a pretty good qualifying position for her as well. Bosu Makjanovic and Max Canati will round out your top 20 for the round of Canada. Veronica Ryan and Dylan Schwallenberg. Not one of the best qualifying efforts from Schwallenberg, but we'll see what he can do here today. Sebastian Van Dalen and Sean Angel, 23rd and 24th, one of the hometown heroes here this weekend. Genji Pei-Ling and Murilo Sousa Cardoso. That's a really good qualifying position for Pei-Ling. Vince Fries, Marco Costeca. Fries also qualified pretty stellar compared to the rest of the grid. Bud Fuchs, a lackluster qualifying grid, and then Martin van der Zijde. Scott Roush, Hudson Williams, followed by Yoshiko Sakamoto, Lula Limona, so poor qualifying effort for both Roush and Limona. Donovan Cage and Kiki Laukkanen, this is a very bad qualifying effort for the Super Racing team. And of course, last place will be Jude Harris from Hirachi Racing Technologies. So we get down to the starting grid here for the sprint race. 16 laps will determine the feature race winner here at Road Gatineau. As Focasato is going to take the green flag and lead the field down to turn 1, and we're underway here for the round of Canada. Hunter Veslowski, outside pole sitter, got a terrible start. He's going to be overtaken immediately by Rena Hirose and Eugene DeMax. DeMax was on the podium in the feature race last weekend at Road America, and it looks like the field's going to fly down to turn 1. DeMax looks to overtake Focasato for the race lead right off the bat, and now Focasato going to do everything he can to hold off Rena Hirose for second, but a very fast approaching Veslowski. He's going to block off the 44, but that's going to leave the door wide open for Hirose to take second, and P2 goes the defending driver's champion as Veslowski looks to take third, maybe, down this long back straightaway. Now, Road Gatineau is another one of the longer road courses here on the calendar. One could wonder the massive amounts of overtaking opportunities as Veslowski looks to send it 3 wide for the race lead. Veslowski, current championship leader, is going to try to extend it even further. Hirose blocks DeMax off from taking any chance of taking the lead from her. But this is not the best possible position for Veslowski to be in right now. Being on the inside of that right left-hander. And that's not going to be advantageous for him as Hirose is going to get away with the race lead, and she has a pretty comfortable gap over points leader Veslowski. This will be a great opportunity for Hirose to try to pull away and get the fastest lap, just to maximize her points output as much as she can. Hirose having only just barely scored points in the last sprint race. She's not up to that good of a start in the Drivers' Championship compared to last year, but we'll just see how this goes. Meanwhile, Barsha Johansson runs a little bit wide entering the chicane, or the bus stop, excuse me, as Kanani almost runs him over. This is further back outside the top 20, so Johansson is already off to a pretty rough start, as it is. Meanwhile, Kei Takahashi is going down the inside of what appears to be Focasato. That's Yuki Tamura. I apologize. Tamura, second in points. She's looking to pick up where she left off. Patrick Smith just barely avoiding Focasato, blocking him off. Smith is also one of our hometown heroes in this race. Probably one of the favorites to win this weekend. But as it appears right now, Smith has a lot of work ahead of him if he's going to try to get past a very aggressive Vincenzo Focasato and Yuki Tamura, as Tamura doing everything she can to hold him off. For as long as she can, Focasato, her pole sitter, not up to a great start. He's already fallen to 4th place and is about to lose that position to Tamura. Now he's not in an ideal position. He needs to get by her right now if he wants to maintain 4th. It looks like DeMax is looking to get around, and he has gotten around Veslowski, in fact, for second, so DeMax looks very fast this afternoon as well. As Tamura will clear the O2, and it looks like Patrick Smith looks to do the same. Veslowski now on the same lap, under fire from Tamura. This is a big points rival of his, and wow, that's a big squeeze by Tamura. Again, this is the chaos is only unfolding on lap 2. Veselowski down another position. He's not had a great start at all, especially off the starting grid. He dropped to 4th initially on the start, but picked it right back up. Lap 3 now. Veselowski back under attack of Yuki Tamura. Again, this is for 4th place. This is a very intense battle for position between those two points rivals right now. Mr. Saucy, he's going to need to edge ahead, but he just can't do it. That chicane's really tough to pass on, as we've seen all weekend. Now, Fabio Villalbazo suffered a brake failure in the sprint race last weekend. He was okay, but was furious with Scuderia Grosso Culo's lack of reliability, according to him in the press. He's now off to an impressive start so far, despite not having qualified as well as his teammate Focusato, who took the pole and got the bonus points for that. So now both Grossaculos are going to put Veselowski under pressure for what is now 6th place, as he's lost that position to Patrick Smith. And wow, big pressure from Villalbazo, runs Focusato off, and Focusato is going to lose position to Blake Warren. Blake Warren looks to overtake Villalbazo as well, so Warren's off to a pretty good start this year as well, and Warren's going to get the both of them, but Villalbazo is not done yet. And he might just slip behind. He may try again into turn 1. But a very fierce competition today between Scuderia Grosso Culo and GM Team USA, as Villalbazo now looks down the inside again of Blake Warren. Warren looks really fast today as well. He finished pretty admirably in the sprint race at Road America last weekend, but it seems that Warren is not quite giving under pressure just yet. And yeah, Warren is just going to hold on as long as he can, but he's going to try to defensive on the inside, but because of how that hairpin is, it's going to allow Villalbazo to take to the inside, heading down the back straightaway. And now he's got support from Focusato. They're both hoping to get some support from Rio Lucas, who is back there battling within the top 10 with Takahashi and Vandenberg at the moment, but it appears as though Villalbazo is not going to get Blake Warren, but he eventually did, as we missed out. So now Warren is applying the pressure to the 01 once again, heading down the hill this time around. Focusato now, he's trying to look back to see if Warren is going to make a mistake in the that mini bus stop. And that's not an optimal racing line to be in if you're Blake Warren. Oh, this is bad. Warren is under pressure again from Focusato. And Focusato gets around on the outside in the last sector. Wow, a lot has happened already, and it's only lap 4. We're going to lap 5 now. As Takahashi, as I mistook for Yuki Tamura earlier, is now trying to get around Kirk Vandenberg in the Petronas Mercedes. Vandenberg did not have a good weekend, as he's missed down on some pretty decent points for jumping to start in a feature race on Nathan Ormond. But yeah, Takahashi getting right by the 98. Let's see if she'll be able to continue that momentum heading towards the front, as Rio Lucas is now going to apply the pressure. Vandenberg thought about setting it down the inside of Takahashi, but he didn't have enough space to. He has to focus his attention now to Rio Lucas. This is a battle for 20th place right now between Dylan Schwallenberg and Sebastian Van Dalen. Those two have been rivals in the World Karting Championships several years back, before those two found each other again in a Neucom Touring Car Championship. So Schwallenberg has a lot of pressure on him now, as Sebastian Van Dalen is looking to re-spark that rivalry between those two once again. Schwallenberg, the pole sitter and podium finisher from the round of Road America in the sprint race, he's looking to try to do it again here today. On the following lap, however, Schwallenberg is back under pressure from Sebastian Van Dalen. Van Dalen is going to run alongside of 16, and that's Naomi Osakawa just ahead of them in 19th place. She's not had the best start so far, as Van Dalen sends it down the inside of Schwallenberg, and he's easily going to clear to 16 for 20th, and that's going to put Van Dalen on provisional pole for the sprint race. Should be able to keep that. Eugene DeMax is several laps later. I think this is lap 8 now. He's caught Renato Hirose for the race lead. Now, I mentioned those two have been pretty bitter rivals on and off the track. The South Korean is looking to get another win to his name, hopefully at the start of 2022. And they're still side by side heading down the back straightaway into the left-hander. Is that going to allow Demax to clear Hirose? Yes, it is. Eugene Demax is now the new race leader. As Demax was held up for a little while by Hunter Veslavsky, who's fallen just outside the top 5 earlier on. Demax now looks to take advantage of this and try to run away with this for as long as he can. But Hirose, we all know Reno Hirose too well. She's a fighter, and she will fight this through to the end if she has to get her hands dirty. Now, we'll just have to see if Hirose can actually stand up to that. As we head down the hill, but it doesn't look like Hirose is close enough to put up any kind of fight down the hill. So we're just going to have to see what becomes of this later. Vincenzo Focasato pits early for a brake failure. So again, the mechanical gremlins behind Scuderia Grosseculo strike again for the second consecutive weekend in a row, this time to her pulse hitter Vincenzo Focasato, and that's going to be a disaster for the O2, but he is likely going to be able to come back out of the pits. Battle for fourth now between Patrick Smith and Hunter Veslavsky, your championship leader at this time. As Vita Bassa looks from behind, he might look to pounce if he needs to. For what is now going to be fourth. No, Smith still holds off Veslavsky for the time being. Excellent defense there by the Canadian veteran, as Nathan Ormond now is under pressure from Jeffrey Finguy and Max Canati for position. So Ormond himself has not had a stellar start either, as he's started to slip through the order. The rookie sensation in GM Team USA already looking to crack under pressure here early on. As looks like Warren's getting sent up the inside by Kei Takahashi, and that was a brilliant move by the rookie, but it looks like Warren isn't done with her yet. Takahashi did not get as good of an exit off the hairpin as Warren did, and now Warren is side by side with the 6 once again, heading down the back straightaway. Is Warren going to be able to clear her by the time they reach the chicane? It just might. But Takahashi isn't done fighting yet. She's gotten her hands dirty before with our drivers here in the past. Hirose now applying the pressure to Eugene Demax for the race lead, and she sends it down the inside already. And we're not even into her pit cycle yet. As Hirose looks to send it around the outside, she might do the crossover, maybe not. No, Demax just barely blocks her off on the outside. Heading down the back straightaway. An intense battle for the lead is now brewing again between the two bitter rivals on and off the track. Hirose, how's her run's going to send it down the inside again? The question is she going to be able to make that overtake pretty cleanly before that chicane? Because that can be a problem if she's unable to do it. They're close. Close quarters between both drivers. No contact so far. As we're now heading into the beginning of our pit cycle here on lap number 12. And that's going to be Fabio Vita Bassa looking to stay out one more lap. Maybe an overcut strategy could play into his favor should he be successful with this. So Vita Bassa, among a few others, have stayed out for the overcut. So shortly after pit stops, it looks like Hirose is going to have the lead to Max right now, applying the pressure to Hirose. And this is for the race lead. They're both fighting for the lead. Contact between Demax and Hirose. Hirose's in the wall. Oh boy, this is not going to go over well with the stewards. Let's see what they're going to say about that one. Oh boy. And Hirose is furious in the radio. Same with Team Unicure Hirose, and there might be fisticuffs going on a pit road. And this is with 3 to go. We're now looking at 2 laps to go, heading to the white flag now. Demax is starting to crack a little bit. Hirose's back at him again. Despite the right side damage, she's looking to try to pass him for the race lead and for the race win. Hirose with the edge, exiting the final corner. Demax has the better exit. However, and this will be the white flag. 1 more lap to go for either Reno Hirose or Eugene Demax. Demax will lead the lap, but Hirose's got 2, maybe 1 shot at getting the 23 for this race win. Fabio Vita Bassa is back there looking at a podium against Yuki Tamura. But our focus right now is on Rena Hirose and Yuji Namax at this time. Heading down to hairpin. This is a great overtaking opportunity for Hirose. She's able to make a clean pass, but no, she gets a worse exit than Namax. And yeah, we're hearing reports of fisticuffs down pit road between a number 1 and a 23, as things could get really ugly here post-race. Regardless of the outcome of the race, it's been a hard-fought battle for both Yuji Namax and Rena Hirose, but Hirose driving furiously to try to pass the 23 to make the final, to have the last lap as the ultimate victor here. So here we go, down the chicane. We're just gonna have to see if Hirose is gonna have any shot at Namax whatsoever. He runs a little bit wide on the exit. This could be her chance right now. Is Rena Hirose gonna have enough time to get to Yuji Namax by the end of this race? Only time will tell from here, as Namax now down the right-hand sweeper into the sharp left. When we get to the downhill final sector of this sprint, or feature race, I'm sorry. Hirose still driving as furiously as she can to challenge Namax maybe one more time. Here for the round of Canada, looks as though Namax might have gapped her enough. We'll just have to see if Namax makes any mistakes from here on out. There's one more spot he can make a mistake at, and it's that left-hander that several drivers have made mistakes on in the past. Is Namax going to make that mistake here? Oh, he's run it wide. Here comes Hirose again, one last time. Will she be able to fight him in the last corner? The answer is no. Looks like Namax might just be able to hold her off. She's right all over the back end of his car right now. Yuji Namax down the front straightaway is going to get the first victory of the year in controversial fashion here at Road Gatineau. After a long period of time of breaking up the fight between the Team Nismo and Neucom Motors pit crews between the 23 and the 1, Hirose didn't even look at Namax on the podium. Very bitter about her runner-up result here in Canada. Fabio Vitabasa just beat out Yuki Tamura for the final podium on the spot. That'll see him 3rd. Tamura 4th, Warren 5th, Veslavsky 6th, their championship leader. Pretty alright start so far. Kirk Vandenberg, his teammate, in 7th. Patrick Smith for Canada will round out 8th. Arturo Morales in 9th, and Kei Takahashi will round out your top 10. Tatiana Rosales will finish just outside the top 10 at 11th. Max Kunani, Nathan Orman, Rio Lucas, Mitchell Carter, Jeffrey Finguy, Naomi Yoshikawa, Vincenzo Focusato, Barsha Johansson, and Sebastian Van Dalen will round out your top 20. And that means for the second time this year, we're going to see a team lockout in the front row for the sprint race, and that will be Van Dalen Autosport this time around. We'll see how Sebastian Van Dalen will do against the rest of the grid here at Road Gatineau for the 10-lap sprint. As Van Dalen takes the green flag, it's a pretty decent start for him, but look at Naomi Osakawa from 4th. This is an amazing start from the rookie sensation. She's going to take the lead immediately. Heading into turn number 1, Toyota Racing Developments is ecstatic in their pit right now. That is one of the best starts I've ever seen out of anyone this year. That went from 4th to 1st, entering turn 1 right there. Van Dalen now trying to defend from Vincenzo Focusato for 2nd place. He's going to try to hold on the outside as long as he can, as Barsha Johansson tries to hold out Jeffrey Finguy from 4th. Finguy had a pretty decent start himself, I must add. But now, it looks like Van Dalen's not going to be able to get the lead back from Osakawa. He's going to have to set her up. Heading into the left-hander, this is a heavy braking zone in order for him to do it successfully. But look at Focusato. Focusato is going to set into 3 wide. Where have we seen this before? In the King Cup Road America last week. Now he's doing it here. And Focusato is going to cleanly get around the 7 into 19 for the race lead. Focusato once again back up front. Our pole sitter with that brake failure early on was able to finish in 18th. And now he's up into the lead. As Van Dalen's going to lose out to Jeffrey Finguy for 3rd as well. Rena Hirose in the middle of a 3-wide situation between herself, Bosi Markijanovic, and Bud Fuchs. And it's not been a very great weekend for Volkswagen Motorsport, but it's not been a great start for Hirose at all. Hirose running around in 20th place. She needs to climb back up into the top 15 if she wants to be a points threat at all to Yuji Namax. especially with what happened in the feature race. Marsha Johansson later in the first lap is going to make a pretty critical mistake. That's going to lose him out another 2 positions, maybe 3, to Arturo Morales if he clears them before the final corner, and yes, he will. So Johansson once again cracking under pressure early on in the race. Now he's under pressure from Max Canati and Nathan Orman, as that could prove pretty disastrous for Van Dalen. Van Dalen's start has already been falling apart from the very start. Morales trying the best he can to get around. Whoa! He just barely clips the inside wall, almost taking Rosales with him. That was way too close for comfort there, but they managed to keep it clean otherwise. And that's the nature of the chaos for these sprint races. Jeffrey Finguy for Ford Racing Australia up to 2nd place, now applying a lot of pressure to Vincenzo Focasato for the race lead. Finguy running a little bit wide himself. He's not afraid to do all that. The 2020 Drivers' Champion is looking to do anything he can to be back in victory lane again this year. The last time Finguy was in victory lane was in the United States, actually, for Finguy Saitomi when they were with Ferrari before they went out to endurance racing. Finguy was almost guaranteed to at least maintain his spot, but until Grossaculo bought that spot out from Finguy Saitomi, and subsequently losing out that right entirely, so Finguy has shifted over to Ford Racing Australia, and that looks like the fruits of his work is about to come to fruition, as he's going to try to take the race lead from Focasato. This is a bitter rivalry that Finguy has with all of Scuderia Grossaculo, and he clears Focasato on lap number 2. Incredible stuff by Jeffrey Finguy to take the race lead. Focasato looks to try to take the race lead back, but to no avail. Finguy is going to continue to hold him off for the lead. Meanwhile, battle for 3rd is trying to brew up again between Mitchell Carter, Sebastian Van Dalen, and Naomi Osakawa, and this is what this Focasato did on the first lap. And Carter is going to clear for the podium. That's going to be Mitchell Carter's first podium of the year, I believe, because he's going to be able to hold the rest of the grid off. And he's going to get away just fine, but Osakawa is looking to close back up on the gap. Further in the back, it looks like Vince Freeze and Jude Harris has not had the greatest weekend so far. They're actually running pretty solidly within the top 30. Oh, no, that's gone wrong already. Vince Freeze and Harris are around. Watch out. Oh, and that's one Baxter. Never mind, both of them are involved. So, rookie mistake by Vince Freeze is going to cause our first incident of the weekend. Well, second if you want to count Eugene DeMax and, excuse me, Renato Hirose. Meanwhile, Tatiana Rosales, whoa, my goodness, almost takes out the number 7 with her. Another bad rookie mistake is going to cost her dearly. Oh my gosh, that was a bit of a heart attack on my end. But that's going to cause Rosales to be her first retirement of this race and perhaps the race weekend. Van Dalen again under pressure from Rio Lucas. Van Dalen's had a pretty miserable start already. I don't know what Van Dalen Autosport did to the setup, but it's clearly not clicking at all. As Rio Lucas is easily going to get by the 7, as it looks like Nathan Orman looks to do the same. Lucas being a seasoned veteran here in the Neucom Touring Car Championships, as rookie Orman looks to try to get around Lucas, and he does with ease. Great traction on the exit there by the young American Nathan Orman. I was surprised it came from short track racing. He's actually adapting pretty well to these cars, but it's been a pretty bad start for Van Dalen already. Renato Hirose now facing a lot of pressure, and she's actually lost some track position to Markianovic, and it looks like Bud Fuchs just ahead. But now she's got Cardoso and I'm sorry, the 5 to deal with here in a bit, and the 18 of Veronica Ryan looks to get her for position as well. So Hirose, they got it all wrong in the setup so far. I don't know what's up with that. As oh, there's a crash ahead. No! And Hirose's around, same as Veronica Ryan. That looks like Kirk Vandenberg ahead is around as well. Markianovic might have gotten collected also. Angel gets held up as well. Looking at this again as Vita Bassa. Oh, there's contact between Vita Bassa and Vandenberg. Well, and oh, wow. Yeah, that was a bit of a brain fade there by Markianovic, as you see Hirose, Ryan, and Angel slow in the background. I don't know about this one. That wreck might be under investigation by the stewards. We'll have to see about that one. Max Kanani under pressure now from, Yuki Tamura, the runner-up in the Drivers' Championship right now, as she looks to make a clean pass on the inside, and Kanani does. I believe that is for 15th place, one of the last points main positions here in the sprint race. As Eugene DeMax is now looking to get around Blake Warren. DeMax is actually, I might be incorrect about this, might be in the hunt for the last points main position. DeMax now might be pending a penalty post-race weekend. We'll just have to see about that one. As Osakawa now under pressure from Rio Lucas. Osakawa's pace seems to have faded as well late in the race, as now she's going to face pressure from Kei Takahashi in at number 6. Is that about to be clean? Oh, that was almost disastrous. Patrick Smith had to check up himself before he tried to send it up the inside, as DeMax now looks to maybe send it 3 wide, get 2 for 1 here, but that right-hand sweeper would like to say otherwise. DeMax not quite going to be able to get the position from either driver. He's going to have a long run around a long way, see if he can get at least Osakawa, and he just might, or does he? I don't know. They're still side by side heading down the hill. Smith is actually giving Osakawa the slipstream down the hill. See how much that will matter, which is not at all, as Osakawa's going to lose position and might lose another to Blake Warren if she doesn't hold him off, which she does successfully. Although DeMax, with a mistake himself, is going to face pressure from Osakawa once again, but didn't quite get the exit that she wanted there. Warren now back on the attack on Osakawa. The well-seasoned veteran in the Touring Car Championship is looking to send it down the inside into the last corner, and he'll probably get the position. White flag now for Jeffrey Finguy. There wasn't much action in this race. He was able to hold off Vincenzo Focusato every single lap since lap number 3. What a story this would be for Jeffrey Finguy to find himself in victory lane again. The 2020 Drivers' Champion found quite a bit of success last year in 2021, but it was just simply not enough to secure the title defense from Reno Hirose, who came back from a serious injury in the second half of the year. Finguy now seeking to rub it all in Grosso Kulo's face should he win this race. He was able to pass Focusato cleanly. He was able to get a good start in the sprint race. He's on everything he can so far. Focusato trying to close the gap as best he can, as that's, I believe that's Morales in the background. And I might be right, it is Morales in the background. We'll not be seeing a threat at all to either Finguy or Focusato. A bit of a mistake from the rookie Focusato himself might just cost him right there, as Morales is closing in a little bit faster than I expected. Finguy doesn't really need to stress himself too much here as we head down the end of the second sector into the last sector now. Finguy has worked on and off the track in the preseason to make sure that this team is dialed in and is ready to take the threat to Scuderia Grosso Kulo this year, and it looks like that work will pay off. Seeing that Finguy doesn't make any mistakes here, which he does not, and he does. He's got a few more corners to go now, and Jeffrey Finguy will see the first win of the year for Ford Racing Australia. And what an incredible story this will be. Finguy now going to enter the final corner flawlessly. This is kind of a sweeping right-hander, and he does. Down the front straightaway for the final time in a sprint race here in Canada, Jeffrey Finguy is going to win for Ford Racing Australia. A fantastic victory for Finguy, and a hard-fought effort for Vincenzo Focusato, who will not see victory lane today. Morales was closing up the gap toward the end of the race, but was simply not enough to battle for the win. He'll sit on the podium. Nathan Orman, great effort for him, the rookie today. In 4th, Mitchell Carter will round up your top 5. Rio Lucas in 6th. It's Kei Takahashi 7th. Patrick Smith in 8th. Eugene DeMax, who has a pretty strong run, starting from 20th to 9th. Blake Warren will round out your top 10. Naomi Osakawa in 11th. Hunter Fislavsky. Sebastian Van Dalen, lucky to score points today, in 13th place. Fabio Vitabasa, who was on the podium for the feature race, will come home in 14th. And your last points paying position is Yuki Tamura. Again, consistency really shows for Tamura if she wants to really take the fight to the championship fight. But as we noticed, Hunter Fislavsky did not score points at all in the sprint race, which could very easily mean that the points lead has changed hands. And as you're about to see here in a few seconds, that's what's actually going to take place here. An excellent sprint race, but not too much action having taken place aside from the incidents on track. As now, we have a look at our championship. Demax has taken the championship lead from Reno Hirose by 28 points. That's a pretty decent gap if you ask me, but a lot can change in a race weekend. Yuki Tamura has fallen to third, a 1 point behind teammate Hirose, and Hunter Vislavsky in fourth, having fallen out of the championship lead. Jeffrey Finguy with his sprint race victory will be in fifth. Takahashi, one of the rookies here at Neucom, in sixth. Vincenzo Focusato's consistency will land him seventh in the points, in a three-way tie for eighth between Blake Warren, Patrick Smith, and Mitchell Carter. Nathan Orman will be 11th with 55 points, just 20 points out of the top 10. Arturo Morales and Fabio Vitabasa are tied for 12th. Rio Lucas and Tatiana Rosales are tied for 14th. Dylan Schwallenberg all by himself in 16th place, just 8 points ahead of the three-way tie between Sean Angel, Marco Kosteka, and Kirk Vandenberg. Sean Angel is having a pretty solid start to the year for Midnight United Racing. Bossy Markianovic for a Super Racing team will still hold on to the top 20 points in position. The next race, we'll be seeing you at Mexico for the round of Mexico City in the Neucom Turrican Championships. Until next time, we'll see you there.